Is morality objective? Can morality see through the subjectivity of human needs? Find out today.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the comments that you've left thus far on the most recent video. I know it's hard-hitting, it's kind of what I'm going for. Just to grab attention, really, more than anything else. And I'm getting it. So I guess I can't complain. I want to talk to you guys today about something something that's really bugging me, really, that I was been thinking about for a while, and pardon me while I find it again. I was turning it into a blog post when I decided to run it past you guys, because I find this a little bit less formal, and in a good way. In a good way. I like the congenial attitude. If it would load, come on. So how are you? I'm doing well. I was tripping out earlier. I was taking a nap, and there's something in my loft hanging off the side. That when my glasses are off, I wear contacts, it looked something like a small dog or cat. And so as I was fading in and out of sleep, my eyes were just slightly open, and I could see this small dog or cat look down at me and sort of lick its lips and look up and whatever else. And I thought I was I was lying back, I was on a plane, like we were on a plane ride to go somewhere with this cat up in the room, and my bedroom was part of the plane, and it was very bad. It was very scary. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Yes. What the devil? What was that all about? Anyway, the idea was conjured up by a couple of critiques that I received from the last video. Essentially recognizing that human needs are ultimately subjective. The human needs of one being may in fact be different from another. And I think really what the confusion lies is in my own inability to make any point coherently ever. And that is that objective morality is not actually based on human needs, but rather on the precedence of filling human needs. Subjectivity is really kind of a goofy idea, because it's I wrote something down, so I'll read you this writing. But subjectivity really is at the root of this morality issue, but I don't think a lot of people understand what subjectivity really means, really is. And so I have something to propose to you. How much? See, okay, yes, time's good. Here we go. Sorry for reading. When a subject is unable to obtain an object of value, this inability is understood as a problem. The solution to such a problem becomes an expression of need, such as, I need to go downtown because I have a job interview, because I value advancement in my career. These expressions of value are informed by an individual worldview, okay? This is sounding very subjective. This is the subjectivist argument, and this is what I buy into in as far as the subjectivist argument is concerned. So the expressions of value, as in the case of I need to go downtown because I value the advancement in my career, are informed by an individual's worldview. But worldview is different from subject to subject, right? Advancing one's career, for example, is not universally valued. Therefore, these expressions of value are understood as subjective. Am I digging myself into a hole? I don't think so. Hang on. This subjectivity is due to the fabrication of a worldview after birth. If a worldview was endowed upon humanity at birth, that worldview could be used to objectively determine proper outward expressions of value. The child spends his time learning, however, and not comparing what is being taught to him with what he would already know in lieu of his own predetermined worldview. And as a result, the child accepts varying concepts from gravity to Santa Claus and everything in between. So it doesn't seem like there is really an objective worldview that we're endowed with at birth. If the subject begins life with no worldview and is left to fend for his own intellectual self, therein lies the root of subjectivity and the subjectivist argument. And I agree. If the subjective worldview was not innate, the need to fabricate a subjective worldview necessarily pre-exists the subjective worldview. Let me read it again. If the subjective worldview is not innate, like I think and like the subjectivists think, the need to fabricate a subjective worldview necessarily pre-exists that subjective worldview. And if need pre-exists the subjective worldview, the problem from which need is derived pre-exists the subject worldview as well. If the problem pre-exists the worldview, the value which the subject is not able to obtain, deriving or causing the problem, the inability to obtain an object of value, the need is derived from a value that pre-exists the subjective worldview. Without a worldview, the subject is first aware of what is real and what is fantasy, but possesses no knowledge of which is which. The purpose of the subjective worldview is to make this very distinction, and is constructed through a means that is also necessarily pre-existent to the subjective worldview. The means to distinguish what is real from what is fantasy without being informed by a subjective worldview is intuition. When expressed through language, this intuition is known as logic. Thereby, whatever value the human being was unable to obtain that pre-existed and gave rise to the subjective worldview is the basis of innate, non-subjective value. Cheers.